The robot exclusion standard, also known as the Robots Exclusion Protocol or Robots.txt protocol, is a convention to advising cooperating web crawlers and other web robots about accessing all or part of a website which is otherwise publicly viewable. Robots are often used by search engines to categorize and archive websites, or by webmasters to proofread source code. The standard is different from, but can be used in conjunction with, Sitemaps, a robot inclusion standard for websites. History: the standard was proposed by Martij Koster, when working for Nexa in February 1994 on the www.talk mailing list, the main communication channel for www-related activities at the time. Charles Stross claims to have provoked Koster to suggest Robots.txt, after he wrote a badly behaved web spider that caused an inadvertent denial of service attack on Koster's server. It quickly became a de facto standard that present and future web crawlers were expected to follow. Most complied, including those operated by search engines such as WebCrawler, Lycos and AltaVista. About the standard: when a site owner wishes to give instructions to web robots, they place a text file called robots.txt in the root of the website hierarchy. This text file contains the instructions in a specific format. Robots that choose to follow the instructions try to fetch this file and read the instructions before fetching any other file from the website. If this file doesn't exist, web robots assume that the web owner wishes to provide no specific instructions, and crawl the entire site. A robots.txt file on a website will function as a request that specified robots ignore specified files or directories when crawling a site. This might be, for example, out of a preference for privacy from search engine results, or the belief that the content of the selected directories might be misleading or irrelevant to the categorization of the site as a whole, or out of a desire that an application only operate on certain data. Links to pages listed in robots.txt can still appear in search results if they are linked to from a page that is crawled. A robots.txt file covers one origin. For websites with multiple subdomains, each subdomain must have its own robots.txt file. If example.com had a robots.txt file but aexample.com did not, the rules that would apply for example.com would not apply to aexample.com. In addition, each protocol and port needs its own robots.txt file. http example.com / robots.txt does not apply to pages under https example.com 8080 / or https example.com / Some major search engines following this standard include Ask, AOL, Baidu, Bing, Google, Yahoo, and Yandex. Disadvantages: despite the use of the terms allow and disallow, the protocol is purely advisory. It relies on the cooperation of the web robot, so that marking an area of a site out of bounds with robots.txt does not guarantee exclusion of all web robots. In particular, malicious web robots are unlikely to honor robots.txt. Some may even use the robots.txt as a guide and go straight to the disallowed URLs. While it is possible to prevent directory searches by anybody including web robots by setting up the security of the server properly, when the disallowed directives are provided in the robots.txt file, the existence of these directories is disclosed to everyone. There is no official standards body or RFC for the robots.txt protocol. It was created by consensus in June 1994 by members of the robots mailing list. The information specifying the parts that should not be accessed is specified in a file called robots.txt in the top-level directory of the website. The robots.txt patterns are matched by simple substring comparisons, so care should be taken to make sure that patterns matching directories have the final / character appended, otherwise all files with names starting with that substring will match, rather than just those in the directory intended. Alternatives: many robots also pass a special user agent to the web server when fetching content. A web administrator could also configure the server to automatically return failure when it detects a connection using one of the robots. Examples: this example tells all robots that they can visit all files because the wildcard specifies all robots. The same result can be accomplished with an empty or missing robots.txt file. This example tells all robots to stay out of a website. This example tells all robots not to enter 3 directories. This example tells all robots to stay away from one specific file. Note that all other files in the specified directory will be processed. This example tells a specific robot to stay out of a website. This example tells 2 specific robots not to enter one specific directory. Example demonstrating how comments can be used. It is also possible to list multiple robots with their own rules. The actual robot string is defined by the crawler. A few sites, such as Google, support several user agent strings that allow the operator to deny access to a subset of their services by using specific user agent strings. Example demonstrating multiple user agents. Non-standard extensions, crawl delay directive. Several major crawlers support a crawl delay parameter, set to the number of seconds to wait between successive requests to the same server. Allow directive. Some major crawlers support an allow directive which can counteract a following disallow directive. This is useful when one tells robots to avoid an entire directory but still wants some HTML documents in that directory crawled and indexed. While by standard implementation the first matching robots.txt pattern always wins, Google's implementation differs in that allow patterns with equal or more characters in the directive path win over a matching disallow pattern. Bing uses either the allow or disallow directive, whichever is more specific, based on length, like Google. In order to be compatible to all robots, if one wants to allow single files inside an otherwise disallowed directory, it is necessary to place the allow directive, S, first, followed by the disallow, for example. This example will disallow anything in except my file HTML, since the latter will match first. The order is only important to robots that follow the standard. In the case of a Google or Bing bots, the order is not important. Sitemap. Some crawlers support a sitemap directive, allowing multiple sitemaps in the same robots.txt in the form. Host. Some crawlers support a host directive, allowing websites with multiple mirrors to specify their preferred domain. Or alternatively. Note. This is not supported by all crawlers and if used, it should be inserted at the bottom of the robots.txt file after crawl delay directive. Universal asterisk match. The robot exclusion standard does not mention anything about the asterisk character in the disallow statement. Some crawlers like Googlebot recognize strings containing asterisk, while MSNBOT and Tioma interpret it in different ways. Meta tags and headers. In addition to root-level robots.txt files, robots exclusion directives can be applied at a more granular level through the use of robots meta tags and xrobots tag HTTP headers. Anoindex meta tag. Anoindex HTTP response header. The xrobots tag is only effective after the page has been requested and the server responds, and the robots meta tag is only effective after the page has loaded, whereas robots.txt is effective before the page is requested. Also, the robots meta tag only works on HTML pages, not images, text files, PDF documents, etc. Finally, if the page's resources have already been excluded by a robots.txt file, then they will not be crawled and the meta tags and headers will have no effect. This can have the counterintuitive effect that a web address is indexed by a search engine such as Google if it honors the site's robots.txt, stops crawling and never receives the advice not to index the site. See also. Automated Content Access Protocol, a failed proposal to extend robots.txt, Botsia, now inactive search engine for robots.txt files, distributed web crawling, focused crawler, Internet Archive, Library of Congress Digital Library Project, National Digital Information Infrastructure and Preservation Program, Sitemaps, NoFollow and link spam, Spidertrap, Web Archiving, Web Crawler, Meta Elements for Search Engines, References. External links, W3CO robots.txt, example, maker, www.robotstxt.org, the web robots pages.